Hello and welcome to Nowhere. My name is Trish and I am the creator behind Nowhere Novelties. If you're like me, you're an 80s baby raised in the 90s and you loved Lisa Frank. Let me tell you, Banff Custom Creations has a wide variety of Lisa Frank inspired vinyl, and today we're going to be using some of it. She has opaque, semi-transparent, and completely transparent vinyl, and today we are using this neon leopard print style transparent vinyl, and it gives Lisa Frank vibes, if I'm being honest. If you're ready to see this one come together, let's strap in and shoot for the stars. So we're starting off with a 20-ounce skinny straight from Maker Flow Crafts base painted white from Rustoleum. I am going to cheat glitter this tumbler so that I don't have to wait as long or do as many coats of epoxy to get it smooth. I have 20 milliliters of epoxy mixed up, ready to go, and I'm adding diamonds from the glitter grind. I'm doing this cheat layer as opposed to like a traditional layer of glitter with the epoxy method because I really just need a subtle shimmer behind the transparent vinyl that we're going to be using. The key to this type of technique is the right amount of glitter and the right amount of epoxy. Too little glitter and the glitter application will kind of look splotchy, and too little epoxy or too much of epoxy is kind of going to do the same thing. You'll get like lines where there's much heavier patches of glitter. The benefit of doing a cheat layer of glitter this way is that typically with one coat, not even an extra coat of epoxy over the glitter step, and you can move right into decals. Here is the vinyl we'll be using. Like it says at the bottom, it is the Lisa Frank Zebra transparent vinyl from Banff Custom Creations. I kind of wanted to create a gradient almost effect where I wanted the top and bottom of the cup, but not the center, to have this vinyl. I knew I wanted to have the same color like twice basically on the cup, so I knew this vinyl sheet had pink at the top and pink towards the middle, so I'm cutting along like the curve and pattern of the vinyl stripes. Same thing with the top. I wanted to cut off the white excess, but I still wanted to have the natural curve that follows the zebra pattern. I realized though that I needed like straight edges for the top and the bottom. So I ultimately fold this piece of vinyl in half to determine where I want that straight edge. Cutting this piece in half actually worked out kind of awesome because putting the straight edge on the top and bottom of the cup means that the dual pink ended pieces are actually going to be in the middle, so it'll look like a really nice seamless transition between the piece at the top and the piece at the bottom. Here comes the cool part. So this vinyl is completely transparent. You can see straight through it, so you'll be able to see the glitter underneath. On the white cup, the colors are just gonna pop. With my first piece, I am lining that straight edge along the top rim of the cup and doing the hinge method for the most part to apply the first inch or so, and then just slowly walking the backing off the cup or off the vinyl as I go around the cup. There is a little bit of overlap, and I realized that the zebra pattern isn't going to line up perfectly on the seam, and that's okay, seams exist. So I just take my straight edge, razor blade, razor knife, whatever you want to call it, and chop off that last little bit. Now I do take off just a little bit on the very bottom like pink edge to make sure that that kind of curve is seamless. Same exact thing on the bottom of the cup. I'm peeling off just that first inch of the backing paper, cutting that off so that I can hinge method this piece around the bottom edge of the cup. Now, you'll realize that I realized very early on in this process that I cut the piece too short, but I will show you how I fix that. I knew there was no stretching this vinyl to get that edge to meet. I mean, I was like a 1/4 inch off. So I knew I was going to have to basically re-seam the piece. So I had the couple of inches that I had taken off. So I knew that I could kind of line up the original pattern pretty seamlessly. So I'm just taking off just a sliver on that first side, and then you'll see me bring over the original scrap to line it up. So I took off about a 1/2 inch, I guess, from the original started piece, and like I said, re-seamed basically. I tried to get this initial side as close to perfect with no overlap, so you couldn't really see that there was a seam there. I thought it looked pretty good, and then cut my new seam from the original side. It's not perfect. You can definitely tell that there's an inch of, extra material there on that seam, but I think it's better than leaving a white gap. And I didn't want to use the last piece of vinyl that I had because I knew that those pinks weren't going to match up like they did here. So I was content enough with this fix. Okay, time for more glitter. So I'm getting out Make a Wish and Moonlight mix from the glitter grind. What I had in mind was the opal burst tumblers from last year that were really popular, still are popular. So I kind of wanted that like really centered, concentrated burst effect with a little bit of waterfall going up and down into the zebra print. So that's what we're doing here. After I coated my tumbler completely with epoxy, I poured out the Make-A-Wish glitter so that I could easily pick it up and pinch big chunks of it. And I concentrated that all in the center white section of the cup. The goal was to camouflage that the two pieces of the Lisa Frank vinyl didn't touch. Then I'm going in with the Moonlight mix and just sprinkle in the crap out of it. The Moonlight mix is a completely transparent glitter, so as you can see it falling onto the zebra print sections of the tumbler, you can see straight through it really. You're just getting the flashes of the opal colors. I raised the glitter shaker up really high and just lightly tapped to get a soft fall over the zebra vinyl. I thought this gave a really pretty transition from the heavier concentrated center burst portion. Okay, so now we're preparing for our water slide. In order to see a clear water slide, I wanted to create a bleach spot. All this means is that you take white spray paint and concentrate a spot where you want your decal to go so that it looks like a bleach spot. Here is the decal we're going with. It totally gives Lisa Frank vibes. I did seal this water slide with 2x Rustoleum clear, and we're gonna soak it to prepare it to transition off the backing. I use the mirror method with my water slides, so I print my image mirrored so that I can place the decal face down and slide the backing paper straight off of the decal. I think this is easier than trying to transition the decal from the top of the backing paper. With my water slide on, I just need 2 final coats of epoxy and this cup is done. It totally brings me back to the 90s. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave them in the comments. I hope to see you real soon. Bye-bye now.